Hey everyone, good to see you. Thanks for being here for our pop-up episode, the Bren Harris podcast, Back to School Guide, Part 4. This is episode 77. Can you believe that? I can't. And let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. And I am in Oklahoma. If you threw a dart at the middle of the U.S., that would be us. And it is hotter than the 9th level of purgatory. This summer has been brutal. And we are good thoughts to all our friends in this heat wave. The National Weather Service is located a little bit, just a few miles from our house. And they said that we are 15 degrees hotter than the Sahara Desert this week. Not what I signed up for. And this is not the sun I feel like I grew up playing in when I was young. I just want to say thank you for being here. We know there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of things happening with back to school and all of that kind of prep. And Warrior Moms, I just want to say, hey, Strong Island, New York, welcome. Georgia in the house. I know, episode 77. I can't believe it. If you are listening to this later as an audio or a replay, I do use a lot of American Sign Language. You can just Google these little words. And we'll recap, since this is a four-part series, we'll recap a little bit of what we've talked about, a little bit about me, just to establish some street cred. My name is Bren Harris, and I founded Warrior Moms by Bren when my son was medically injured at 22 months of age. We have walked through hell. Now we've walked through it like we own the place, and you can too, because your story matters. Hear me, sis. Your story matters. And you have a story in you that will be someone else's drink of water in the desert. And I am so glad you are here. Just a real quick recap. I want you to go back and look at the other episodes because there's so much there. This has been our life. We are more than 10 years in our journey, being diagnosed on the autism spectrum and a nonverbal diagnosis with sensory processing disorder. And we have, it might look a little bit put together now. I mean, I have been that mama in the fetal position crying in the kitchen floor more than one time. And we know that together we're stronger. And I want to encourage you, no matter what you're facing right now, please don't face it alone, because you are not alone. Hear me. Hear me. You are not alone. Now, we believe here at Warrior Moms that we are a voice for the voiceless. And that means connecting and thriving, not just surviving, thriving. Now, we've been going to these meetings for parents. Hey, good to see you guys. And for more than 10 years, and I've seen one dad. So that's why I talk to Warrior Moms. Now, there could be a myriad of reasons for that. I just know a lot of it falls to the mom to be the primary caregiver, often being the breadwinner also, and wearing so many hats, she's overwhelmed, burned out, and feeling ignored. We're here to help you reclaim that freedom, clarity, and power. Now, I'm going to recap real quick. We have talked about getting ready for school. Yes, it is true. I got a lot of questions about, yes, we've had to keep an education attorney on retainer many years when we were in this current school district where we live. We have since transitioned to charter school, and it has been an amazing experience for us. So positive, so reaffirming and empowering, because meeting, teachers that have a heart for children that don't fall in that bell curve. So the first thing we do when we're looking at preparing for school, we're going to pray. One of my 3 pillars. The first one is faith. The second one is walking in purpose. The third one is health. I have been on a health journey for many years and recently hit 100-pound weight loss. Women, hear me, ladies. If you're over 40, get those hormones checked, T3, T4, and blood insulin. Please find an integrative health expert that can help you navigate that. I'm so sorry I didn't do it sooner. All right, here we go. We're going to pray. And then we're going to plan. These are the signs. Pray, plan, connect, hook your fingers, and go forward. Connect, because success doesn't happen in a vacuum. And then we're going to look for safety. Having a child diagnosed on the autism spectrum and nonverbal, we have had more than one incidence of abuse, because he can't come home and tell me, hey, this happened, or somebody hit me, or somebody touched me here. We rely on behavior. We watch that just like we watch for tornadoes here in the heartland. We pay attention. If his behavior is off, then we know something's happening in the classroom that should not happen. And what I love, hey guys, good to see you. If you're getting value, let us know. Team Warrior, absolutely. And if you're getting value, please let us know in the comments. If you're on the live, put an L. If you're on the replay, put an R. And for those of you listening by audio later, just know that we're doing L in the alphabet and R in American Sign Language. Now, my son's name's Zach, so we call it Zachanese. We're not perfect. It's not perfection. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. So we have pray, plan, connect, and safety. We also have teach. I share this just like you're straightening the bill of a hat. Teach and heal. Put your hands to your shoulders and bring them forward. We're here to teach and heal. We know that these are hot button issues, especially when we're talking about vaccine injury. If this hasn't affected you, thank God. We have since learned through simple at-home genetic testing you can order off of Amazon. Very reputable labs represent their products there. It's a simple Q-tip swab in the side of your cheek. In 7 days, you have the results, and you know how to make better and more clearly informed decisions. My son has a double genetic marker called MTHFR. It's really complicated. I won't even pretend to know how to pronounce the medical term. We affectionately refer to it as the mother trucker gene. And because he has that genetic mutation, he incapable of what's the word I'm looking for? Turning folic acid into folate, because folic acid is man-made. I know we're always hearing take folic acid, take folate. Well, that's a chemical compound. It's a synthesized version of folate, which is the natural form. So we take L-methylfolate, and that helps with everything. It helps against high blood pressure, stroke, heart attack, and blood clots. It does wonders for the skin. Hear me, sis. It does wonders for the skin too. And our food today is genetically modified. We do organic, gluten-free, and dye-free. Red 40 is enemy number 1. That's really important because it's in everything. Red 40 is enemy number 1. If you can eliminate that from your child's diet, behavior will improve tenfold. All right. So the sign for vaccine injury is just a shot, and then put your index fingers together. Vaccine injury. And then we have advocate. Remember Friends? I know it's been in the news with Matthew Perry, but Ross and his funny little sign. Yeah, that's advocate. Advocate. And we want to be an advocate with clarity. And that's like the clouds are clearing. Clarity. Now, clarity, I touched on this in our last episode, but I got sidetracked talking about something else. We have talked about our story. Son was born in a military hospital in Japan. I did not get a lot of choices. Hear me, sis. Make your own choices and follow your mom's intuition. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I made the best decision I could at the time. Now, we know now that there's a way to mitigate or reverse some of that damage, because when we have that MTHFR genetic marker, that all the toxins in the vaccines just recycle and recycle, almost like a record that's stuck from back in the old days. It just recycles, and it damages parts of the body and the brain. Now, I'm not saying that you as an adult can't make your own informed decisions. I'm talking about decisions for our children. And children need to know that we have their back and we are in their corner. And we are not here to say, you need to do it my way. I'm here to educate or teach and to heal. If we can save one family from going through what we have experienced, please let it be worth it. Because I didn't know if I would ever crawl out of that pit. We're decade plus in. That's what you're seeing here. I'm just now in the last year ready to talk about this because it's been so traumatic and so devastating. This is not the life I envisioned, but I've learned to write a new vision that helps me make more informed and wiser decisions. Hear me. I've learned to rewrite a new vision that helps me make more informed and really healthy choices. Now, I see people that I went to school with And I'm like, who's that old person? Because my son and I both tested positive for celiac disease. That means gluten and wheat are not our friend. When we were overseas, that was not an issue. They don't use glyphosate, which is the compound or the pesticide that's in Roundup that's triggering all these class action cancer lawsuits. So the pesticide can be the trigger because it is carcinogenic. All right. I'm sorry to ruin your, yeah, red 40 is evil. Yes, absolutely. And if you know someone on the autism spectrum, please resist telling their parents how to parent. Just talk with them and see if they're aware of these issues. Because I really don't want, we call you guys NTs, neurotypicals, parents telling us how to parent. Sorry. It's a little bit of a sore subject. So know that you can pray through, you can plan, you can connect, and do it in a safe environment. All right. So back to school has a lot of different meanings for people, but we're doing this with clarity. As our emotions go up, often our intelligence goes down. I'm speaking from personal experience. And do not tackle your sons or daughters or grandchild's educational needs in a vacuum. There are so many rules and regulations, even teachers don't know what they are. And the administration hands that down. It is like a pyramid. It just, the crap rolls downhill. And some of it's baseless, completely baseless, because the educational system in our country, I can't speak for other countries, in our country has been around, over 60 years. It has not evolved with society. I read a post from an anonymous member in our mom's group saying, I've been a teacher for years. I love to teach. I hate the system. I'm burned out. The behaviors I'm seeing in class are off the charts. I'm getting injured every day. Teachers are not being equipped and given the tools to handle the behaviors that are presenting, especially from Red 40, from all the vaccines being pushed on children. When we were growing up, it was a handful. Now it's over 72. We're talking mRNA is aborted fetal tissue. It's not gender specific. It's rewriting their DNA. And we are having outbursts and absolute crime waves, even here in the heartland, with juveniles that were given the vaccine. And I'm not saying all vaccines are awful. I am not an anti-vaxxer. Hear me. I am a pro-parent choice. Pro-parent choice. And this is really important. And when we're talking about IEPs, that stands for Individual Education Plan. This is like breathing for us. We've been at this for a while, so I forget to back up and explain that. IEP is Individual Education Plan. And what that does is that tailors the education plan to your child, to your student. It is not a stigma. And getting a diagnosis is not a stigma. It helps you qualify for a myriad of services that are funded federally. And this is really important because we want to equip our children to become the best versions of themselves. And they won't do that being in a gen ed classroom stuck in the corner coloring the same freaking worksheet. I mean, you would not believe what happens. Now, I want to give a huge shout out on a positive note to Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, and West Virginia. They have all passed a law that says you can request in writing in a special education classroom to have both video and audio. Now, you need to check each state. If you live in those beautiful states that passed that law, you need to go to that state's website and find the exact process to request it in writing. Again, think human resources. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. Okay. And if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll try to flip back and forth. We are live across all platforms, so don't worry if you're the only one or two on that platform. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And we're also on SoundCloud as an audio. So please reach out at Win with Bren on Instagram. I check those DMs regularly. And you can also email me, bren@warriormommastermind.com. I am so glad you're here. Now, we are talking about our not doing this in a vacuum. Okay. So when we're not doing this in the vacuum, I just wanted you to think, see Yes, CEO of a company, CEO of a nonprofit, all this stuff. But we're using the words communicate, empower, and overcome. These teachers don't know what they don't know. And it turns into a real battle because people don't want to do what's best for the student. They want to do what's best to get this off, not all teachers, get this off their workload because this is not what they're getting paid to do. This is extra above and beyond. Now, what in our experience, we have found that the really good teachers get promoted out because they're really good. And the administration, the powers that be, pull them out to handle other situations. And it really leaves our students SOL because we don't have the support we were told we would have. And also, the really good teachers get overtaxed because all the new teachers that have zero experience with IEPs come to them and their workload gets 10x. All right, so we meet people where they are. CEO, we communicate and we empower. E, and then we overcome. Now, for clarity, I just want to say, we're going to say zero doubt. Now, one of the things, and I'm so thrilled that this is really working. I saw a post in one of our groups today. Shout out to the mom that shared this. They used the Parent Center here in Oklahoma for their IEP meeting, and it was a breeze. Let me tell you, I tried to do this on my own for the first 2 years. Physically ill. It tanked my health because there's so much to learn. It's like getting a law degree on the fly, and it doesn't work. So please reach out to your resident, your state parent center. And I would encourage you to go to Parent Center Hub. I think it's parentcenter.hub.org. I'm trying to read my writing. Parent Center Hub or parentcenter.hub.org. 100 parent centers are in the US. 50 states. There's going to be more than one, like in a state the size of Texas. And I really want to encourage you to work with them and work hand in hand because together we're stronger. Please let my pain be your gain. Because I was just flying blind for the first 2 years, and it was so hard. And I just want to educate. Remember, we're here to teach and to heal. Now, we work with an integrative medical expert for my son out of state, and we did a DVAX protocol. Some things that we don't talk about when people are lining up for the COVID vaccine, no one read the fine print, and it sheds for more than 72 hours. That means you get it, then you go and hang out with immunocompromised, disabled children, then you're exposing them and their immune system's so off track, they can't build the antibodies fast enough. So please read the insert. And then, mom, you go to the pediatrician's office. They want you to sign something that says you're not getting vaccines. Say, I'd be happy to let my legal counsel look at this. May I take a copy with me? Because it's illegal for them to force you to sign it there. All right. So just so you know. And for circling back to the IEP, parentcenter.hub.org. Please find the one for your state. And together we really are stronger. And these people, this is what they do for a living. And you can say, this is what we want to do. We want him to recognize his letters and his numbers or know your rights. And the parent centers will help you know your rights. The schools want to receive the federal funds, not all schools, most schools. They're receiving significant federal funds for each individual education plan that's submitted. Make them earn it. Hear me? Make them earn it, and never let them feel like you're asking for too much. Never resist it. And remember, never resist letting what you don't know rob you of what you do know, because no one knows your child better than you. Hear me? No one knows your child better than you. Now, we have a special event coming up in about a month. It is called the Warrior Mom Masterclass. And I do want you to save the date, September 24th. We are going to dive more into this to empower you and help you know your rights, and to help you learn how to start your own business, file for an LLC, and be compliant. Because I know that as a special needs mom, it's impossible for me to have a regular 9 to 5 job. We are here to empower each other so that we can succeed and be united. Now, I know this is a lot to cover, and I wanted to just bring this up because I got a lot of questions from the last episode. ParentCenterHub.org or ParentCenter.hub.org. And then we also have if you want to know more, if you want to empower yourself or learn more about the Department of Education, IDEA, Individuals with Disability Education Act, that really has some great points. And when you're talking to administrators, you're saying, well, the IDEA says, and then they shut up because they know you know your stuff. All right. So here at Warrior Moms, we're here to connect and to build community so that we can contribute and make our world better for our children. Be authentic, legendary, and unapologetically you. Warriors, unite.